Welcome back to the Dropped Outdoors podcast. Landon, how we living, my brother?
Oh, fantastic, man. Just getting along. You know how that goes.
Just getting along?
Yes, sir.
Well, you want to do a little introduction to the parts pimp himself?
Yes, sir. This is the gun guy that the gun guy himself goes to. This man right here, the parts pimp, Q.
What's up?
At least that's what I call him.
You don't get the full name until you're really in close. I don't even know what his real name is.
Everybody that knows me calls me Q, so it works out.
Well, that's good because I don't know.
He said, y'all aren't close enough to me for this.
We're getting closer.
After this episode.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
go ahead and scoot in a little bit.
Don't straddle him. You might run off. Oh, man. So how's your week been?
That's pretty great. Nothing to complain about. We had some fun earlier shooting a few guns, so that's always a good time.
Hell yeah. How about you, Dusty? Good week?
It was actually a shitty week, but I think it's more so I just got back from vacation and I didn't want to have a week yet. So I really think that was the main part. I had a whole lot of don't give a shit in my system left over.
I get that.
So it was hard to get going in the mornings.
So you need a vacation from your vacation.
I have one coming up in like 2 weeks.
Heyo.
Dude, that's one thing that's caught me off guard is obviously we knew September 1st bear hunt.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
leaving
Yeah.
the weekend before. But I didn't realize when I planned out family vacation and all that shit that I was going to come home and you were going to be on my ass about you need to get this done, you need to get this done, you need to get this done. And I'm like, dude, give me some fucking time. And you're like, we don't have time.
Yeah.
We leave in like 2 weeks.
Dude, I looked up at the beginning of this week and I was like, we're in August and we're leaving in August.
Mm-hmm.
And it lit a fire under my ass. And it's been nonstop trying to get everything dialed in from fixing a trailer to changing my mind to fixing another trailer. But I mean, we're getting there. And then I guess once we have all this shit, then it's done. But
that's
I've
one
never
thing-
been on a Western hunt. So I don't have any of this shit.
I say pure backwoods, nothing around. No one will even hear you scream at night.
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
That's the whole point of having a hunting buddy, isn't it? That's what I've been told by my California friends.
No, honestly, man, this whole thing, like, I didn't even own another pair of boots other than like cowboy work boots.
What about your huck boots?
Oh yeah, I guess those, but that was for power washing and stuff. So
Yeah, those things are dope.
they are nice.
That's
They
what we
are
need to
nice.
do. We should run Q through our trailer ideas and get an unbiased opinion from an outside source. We talk to each other all the time, so we know what we like.
Yeah, somebody that's actually done some hunting before.
Yeah. So if we're going to do any kind of fucking cool setup, though, and we want to make a video out of it, he might be a person to talk to from a third-party unbiased opinion.
Hell yeah.
I'm too poor to build a cool trailer, but I got a couple connections. They could probably hook you up there.
Hell yeah.
But so that's one thing I don't know what we're going to do to it, but we have a full, complete, 20-foot box trailer.
Yeah, 20 foot.
And we want to
enclosed.
deck that thing out into a complete hunting trailer. That way, if we technically just woke up Friday morning and was like, hey, let's go this weekend, we wouldn't even have to do anything other than throw some clothes in it and we're good to go. That's kind of what our goal is with it.
That's the move for sure.
Have the cot in there. And whenever we worked out in the oil field in West Texas, we slept in the trailer. So we know it's comfortable.
Yep, we can make it work. But anyways.
Sorry, I had a scratch.
Oh, you had an itch there? It just kind of threw me off. I was like, normally I'm used to Dusty filling in right
normally
here.
I like to hear myself talk a lot, but I was like, oh my God, what the hell was that? And I had that fucking little spider above my head earlier.
Oh my God,
Q-
that thing was not but the size of a flake on this tabletop.
Yeah, but Q saved my life, but not before I saw it. So now I feel like they're crawling all over me.
I intervened. He's
Yeah.
okay now.
Oh shit.
So, Q, what is it you do right now? Like, what are you known for? How did you and Landon meet?
Oh, so I worked at a shop that Landon frequented. I don't know, how often did you come in?
Oh man, I was by there at least in that area at least 4 times a week, and I'm sure I at least was in there at least once a week, if not more.
You were a regular, and that we recognized you pretty quick. So all the guys in the shop were like, "Oh, Landon's here. What kind of cool stuff do we?"
Yeah,
put in his hand?"
what either came in or what can we get him in today?
So basically, what you're saying is Landon walked in and y'all heard cha-ching, and y'all said, "What can I make this motherfucker buy?"
Basically.
I mean, going through my guns earlier, I started looking at everything, and I'm pretty sure at least 80% of everything on this wall passed through that gun shop.
It for sure did. Looking at it, I was like, oh, I recognize that and that. And one of those.
That was actually really funny. We're sitting in here just talking, and you're like, oh, yeah, I think I sold you that. Oh, I think I sold you that too. Oh, I think I sold you that too. And I was like, well, you basically built these guns.
Quite literally everything. Since he hasn't been at that gun shop, I've literally bought one gun and traded into 2 others, so 3. And
we got to find you a new place then. I guess.
I need a new gun shop. That has been the biggest issue, but I think that's everybody's issue.
It's tough in DFW. Like there's
a lot of big
shops,
ones, but
they're all like surface level.
yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't really get a whole lot deeper than that. And you walk in and you've got people trying to tell you, hey, I know that, like they want to tell you more about what they know rather than like trying to figure out what you're really into or what you know.
Yeah, and that was one thing we talked about off air was, I mean, my approach to that was like, hey, I'm here if you need me. If you want to talk about some cool stuff, we can do that. If you want to look around, that's fine. Like you have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was my favorite part. It wasn't like pressured, and you weren't trying to be like, hey, this is what I know. I'm like, I get it. I know that too, most of it.
Well, you learn pretty quick that like a lot of your customers know more than you. Like you only have like so many funds working in a gun store that you can get cool stuff with.
Yeah.
And you're going to like find your rabbit hole that you get really into, but there's so many rabbit holes in guns in general.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to know everything. And I don't think anybody does.
Well, I'd say, how often do you run into that, Landon? Because a lot of people, especially doing the shoots that we do and stuff like that, that they'll start telling you stuff and you'll look at me and you'll be like, he's wrong. And then we'll get into the car and you'll just pull it up, first page of Google. We'll show you that you're wrong. Why are you acting like you know?
Yeah, no, that part, and that's the reason I hadn't been able to find like a good gun store I like to frequent and like to buy stuff from, is because like you walk in and it seems to me like everybody just wants to be like, oh, I'm smarter than you. And I'm like, you might be, you very well could be, but I know a lot of the shit you're trying to like explain to me. And maybe that's the whole why women get mad at mansplaining. But hey,
well, I've never thought about that with you before, but I've seen it so many times that you have done to me where you're just like, that guy's wrong completely. Like I know more about his guns than he does.
Like that one shoot where the can. Dude,
yeah,
that was hilarious. I don't know. You probably didn't watch that video.
There was one shot and Landon goes, that can's messed up. Walked up and told the guy the can's messed up. He was like, no, it just sounds like that because of the cartridge and this.
Yeah,
that, and
that's
the
how
other.
the can makes the bullet sound. It was clipping.
like the end cap?
No,
Yes.
like bad. Like it was bad enough. I even heard the difference.
They ended up. I just let it go. I was like, okay, I'm wrong.
You're like,
And
bro, your
walked off.
impacts are everywhere.
I don't think they paid attention to that. I think people were just shooting to shoot. And about, I don't know, probably an hour later, somebody's like, hey, that doesn't sound right. And like walks, one of the guys that worked there walks over there and like picks it up and is just shaking the bullets out of it like a pepper shaker. It was like, destroyed.
There's no way at least the last mag went through. Like it just piled up in there. And I don't even know what the hell that guy was watching, because if there's nothing coming out, what are you seeing if they're hitting? Like what are you shooting?
No, but that one cracked me up pretty good. But yeah, I run into that a little bit. So I try. I don't frequent anywhere most of the time.
You kind of have to let people talk sometimes and just decide whether they're worth listening to or not.
Oh, that's my fault.
Yeah.
I don't do that often.
Dusty doesn't ever do that.
I like hearing myself.
Need a natural pause.
You know what? Maybe I need to go work at a gun store.
There you go.
Hell no. You just try to tell everybody what they don't know.
I try. That's what I'm saying. I'd be perfect.
I got to validate myself and tell you everything I know.
Uh-huh. No, I mean,
I'm really good at overcompensating.
and I don't have, and honestly, I don't have a problem listening to people that do know what they're talking about. Like, there's a lot of guys that know a lot more than I'm. Very, very broad, but like it's little bits here and there. But like you can tell when somebody really knows their shit, and a lot of times most people don't know their shit. They're just trying to make it seem like they do know. And I think that's the one thing I appreciated about you, because you had the knowledge. But it wasn't like, oh, hey, I've got all this knowledge and you need to listen to me.
Well, that was kind of how everybody at that shop was.
Yeah.
Like all the guys there, like Otto and Ryan, are fantastic to work with. This is the most fun job I've ever had, like bar none, because we cut up all the time and the work would get done. But like it's just, I mean, how much oversight do you need to go and talk about stuff you love? You know?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, it was always fun. Like everybody, I think that one kind of had the perfect storm built. I'm really sad that it's no longer a storefront. But hey, they've definitely done something with their scope. So Props to them.
Yeah, they're great. A lot of the guys that were working there when I was there are still there. So they've got some cool stuff coming out. I would highly recommend checking them out. I think they've got some new stuff coming out soon. I don't know how soon or what it is, but definitely check it out. It's just SWFA.com, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's...
So they're still going and kicking on online store?
On their own products.
Their own scope line.
Yeah.
So they've always had the scope line, if I'm not mistaken.
But they're just not a brick and mortar anymore.
Yeah.
That's how it started, and then they added a retail and like web store onto that for like guns, different brands of optics. They got started selling all kinds of optics, kind of like I think it was before Optics Planet, but kind of a similar deal. And then they expanded, and they've reined it back into their own manufactured products now.
So is Scope List part of that?
I think Scopeless there was Sample List.
Yeah.
There was SWFA.com, and they had a lot of different products.
So I don't ever remember, like, I don't never know for a fact that it was part of it, but you go to their website and their websites were like almost identical. So
it may have been. They had a drop shipping service too. I think it was called Bug Sniper for a time. I don't think that's around anymore, but they had several different like IPs and websites you could purchase through, but it wasn't all necessarily coming through us.
Hell yeah. That's pretty cool. So did you ever get to take any other full autos home?
I don't think I took any home. We definitely shot a bunch of them. I think my favorite I shot was it was one of the MP5 SDs.
Oh yeah,
it was one of the most fun guns to shoot ever.
Dude, that thing's awesome.
It's stupid.
They had a ton of shit. Like y'all had a Gatling gun there at one time.
They had several.
The other one was like an anti-aircraft, wasn't it? Or was that what was that one in the front?
There was a Browning M2, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you were talking
that
about.
Is
with like the Surefire light.
Yeah.
On it and the what is it? The Hellfighter light or whatever they called it.
Yeah. No, y'all had a ton of shit in that place. Cannons and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, the first time I walked in there with Landon, I was like, this place looks badass.
Yeah, the owner was very enthusiastic about like all kinds of different guns. So he would just, have that looks pretty cool. Like, let's get it in. And,
That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed like just looking around. There was all kinds of shit there all the time.
That's why I couldn't do a brick and mortar myself. I would be bankrupt.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't even be able to sell half the shit I brought in just because I wanted it to look at.
Yeah.
It's tough. You got to restrain yourself or you don't walk home with a paycheck.
Yeah, well, I've never been known for my restraint, so I might as well just stay out of that completely.
Yeah. No, that I could see that being a problem, especially. Yeah. Okay. You mean I get a discount on this too? Let's do it.
We talked about putting a cannon right there in your circle drive just to face down the driveway for the fuck of it.
Well, I mean, you top the hill at that point, and that's all you see. Yeah, I'm going to turn around. Doesn't matter who you are.
But so you have a mile-long driveway, and all you see is a freaking big-ass barrel pointing down at you. Yeah.
You have the perfect driveway for that.
Yep.
Perfectly straight, just right there.
One hill, so it takes, you're already committed.
But you can't really turn around quick either.
No.
No.
Back down the driveway.
Unless you're driving around in a BMW.
Not even then. I think
You
you'd
don't
have
think
to
you
be in a
could-
damn four-wheeler or something, a tank.
You don't think you could whip that Beamer around?
No.
Ashley, can I drive your car? Oh.
No. Real quick.
Yeah, she didn't even think about it. I thought we were friends, but I guess not.
Nah.
That's what I have you for.
Sure, mama.
Yeah. You pay the payments.
Well, what other questions you have, Dusty?
Oh, dude, I'm sure I can think of a lot.
Okay.
But I was just sitting there. That's one thing I was thinking about earlier, and I kept my mouth shut. Go ahead and win for me.
Personal
Damn.
Yeah, that's right. Personal growth. Circle back to, you have to hit it
That is
again.
so loud.
How
and
are
long.
you the producer, and I
My
tell you how to
word.
hit the buttons?
I was just gonna let it go, but Jesus.
Oh,
That crowd just
isn't that
kept
one like
going.
2 minutes long?
No, that was as long as it was. I let it go all the way.
That was the first applause I've ever gotten in my life, so I was gonna let it go. That was one thing I did notice though outside when we were shooting, is I've never heard you ask anybody questions about guns. And within the first 5 minutes of pulling shit out and everything, I heard you ask him like 3 questions, and I was like, okay, this guy's gonna talk so fucking over my head that I'm just gonna stare off into space and not talk to him. I was like, this guy knows way too much if Landon's asking him questions. I was like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's the gun guy that the gun guy goes to. So
Y'all want to talk about trad bows? I can talk about traditional bows. We can do that. I might know what the fuck I'm talking about on that a little bit.
they call him a trad bow.
I call
Or
them
did you just
trads.
make that up?
I mean, there's people that call them trads just because traditional,
Oh, okay.
but I've always called them trad bows because it's.
Fair enough. I just never heard it. I was fixing to ask you what the hell a trad bow
Well,
was,
I mean,
and then
you
you
have-
explained it immediately.
You have recurves. You have basically the short, like Indian bows. You have
yeah, but you
long
don't call
bows.
them a rec bow and a.
I know they're all,
Indie bow.
but they're all traditional.
I get okay.
So you call them trads.
Dang it, son.
They didn't have all the pulley systems and shit on there originally. Those are
I thought
modern bows.
I thought that come standard.
Yeah. No, that's just yours because you have to spend $3,800 on a bow.
I didn't spend that much.
You said, "I'll buy guns. I might as well buy a bow and spend the same amount of money."
It translates for sure.
Like that's what Dinah did. He walked in there and said, "Hey, I'm used to buying a shit ton of firearms, and I'm really looking to getting into bows." So that guy put a 500% markup on it. And was
Yeah,
like,
he
"This is best of the best."
turned it up. He's like, guess what? He didn't know what the hell he's talking about. It's my guy.
Perfect.
All right. So another one I do have is I have a fetish of wanting to get into long range shooting, like doing it competition wise. And I know when I had said something earlier, you're like, well, I'm not an expert. But I feel like that's what a lot of experts say. People that don't really give a shit about you telling you how good they are, like y'all are just talking about. So if I have multiple questions that come off of that, but tell me about step one of walking into a competition. I want to know like feelings, the people, like the atmosphere around it. Cause like you go into, we'll go with like off-roading.
Mm-hmm.
When I go off-roading, like there's people that never done it before that are out there in just their regular mom and pop shops, like cars, and people like flock to them as in like, oh, if you do this, I can help you do this. I can help you do this. Like it's fucking everybody's there to help everybody. You get stuck, you get high centered. You're going to have 15 people coming over there to help you out, telling you what routes to take. It's a cool place. I've also been to places where you go to do something and people look at you like, oh, you're going to be better than me. Fuck you. I don't want to talk to you. Yeah. So I didn't know how the competition side of it was.
So there's a couple things. It depends on what competition you want to get into. Because like I've shot a little bit of PRS over the last year.
What does PRS mean?
Precision Rifle Series.
Okay.
So you see the ones where guys are shooting off barricades. They've got like bags they're resting their rifle on. Typically, you're going to have several stages of fire. So depending on the stage you're at is going to dictate how far your targets are, what kind of target it is, the engagement scenario. So you're usually going left to right or close to far, and then you will address targets at whatever pace the stage calls for. So you'll do that. It'll have different props. Like sometimes you'll shoot off a rock, sometimes it's a tree, sometimes it's prone, but that'll be laid out in your match directory. So you'll do that. You have a certain amount of time to get however many shots it is. Typically a stage is somewhere between like 9 and 12 rounds, 8 and 12, something like that. So you'll go off of that. The distances for that competition start, well, the closest I've shot there is probably 200 yards. And the farthest I've seen, I think it was either 1,400 or 1,600. So you run the gamut there. And most of the ones that are within 700 or so, you're shooting off of some kind of prop. It's not like you're proned out and fully supported. You kind of make your own support given what obstacles are there.
Are you running buys or is it all
Running what?
bipods or is it all?
On the prone ones you do. On most stages you actually don't. What I will do is I'll use like a shooting bag, but it's a really heavy fill shooting bag. The one I use is made by, I don't remember. I don't want to take too long remembering it, but it's a company out of...
Take your time. We have like an hour and a half.
Yeah. It's a company out of College Station. I think it's Weebad. Maybe Weebad. But they make a bunch of different style bags where like if you want to shoot from this kind of prop, it'll have a certain feel to it. You can get it with certain grips around the bag. So if you want to be stable on like a barricade, there's a stickier side of that. There's a flat bottom and then a curved top. Yeah, check out that. Are you about to pull that up?
Oh, I can pull it up if I need to.
Let's say you can just look up there and if you see what you're talking about, he can throw it over there real fast.
Shop.
Shooting bags.
We do try to keep this as dumbed down as possible for people that are interested in guns, that aren't into guns. That way they can see exactly what we're talking about and know.
That's not a shooting bag.
Their
website is
you
really-
kind of got to dig through it a little bit. I think if you scroll through here, we'll probably see one like
There you
that.
go.
Like
Is
that
it-
fortune cookie. That's
Okay.
not the one I use, but it's pretty similar.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Exactly. So you can get them with different fills. Some are really light, so if you want to use it for like hunting, you could pack it in, and it'd be a lot less.
Hey,
Hey, forgot that camera was there. I guess it's not gonna. Oh, here we go.
are they pretty like the internals? Are they pretty easy to change in and out? Because that's one thing I was looking into, and theirs looks like the internals for it. I mean, you have foam, you have something that looks like little like pellets, you have sand, you have.
I haven't tried to swap the filament on them. What you can do is, like, whenever you order this, you can select your filament, and they'll act differently. I think I don't know what they call it. It's a sand, but it's like a stabilized sand. So whenever it compresses, it sits really nicely. And I like those. But the bag I got it because I can kind of do a little bit of everything with it. So if I'm proned out and I'm using a bipod, what I can do is use that as like a rear bag support, and I'll tuck that kind of into my chest pocket under the stock, and then grip that up or down depending on like how much I need to fine tune the rifle for whatever distance I'm shooting.
Yeah.
Because on those, when you're proned out, like you'll have a target at like say 700 yards, you might have one at 800, 900 on out to however far that particular stage goes. So there's a lot of nuance that goes into it, and you don't use all your tools on every stage. You can, like, I don't have a lot invested in the different tools, but some guys you walk out there and see they have like a little pull behind wagon, and they'll have like their tripods in it to use. They'll have the bags in different sizes for whatever like scenario they want to run. The thing with this is whenever you start your stage, you have to have everything that you're going to use in hand and held. So you can't just pull your wagon up and be like, I'm going to pick this out of here and run this at this time. You have to actually have it on person and ready to go when the timer starts.
Can you pick the wagon up and then you use whatever you want? Because my man over there could probably just throw the wagon under his shoulder.
As long as if we keep it under about 500, maybe 550, I'll just pick the whole wagon up and be like, cool, let me get this deadlifted up and we'll call it good.
That's funny.
But yeah, there's so many different ways you can go about doing it. And there's other competitions too. When you asked about like how cool are people,
yeah,
it really depends on like what squad you get put in. So when I started, I would go with some buddies that I worked with. And they were super cool. There was one guy that was there that had done this quite a bit, and he was super cool about helping people out and just wanted to get people into the sport. So for me, it was a really good experience. Like most people will try to help you if they see you have a problem.
Yeah.
So it's good to get into. But then you get some squads, if you're just going by yourself, you might get thrown into one that's got a bunch of pro shooters in it. They can be really competitive.
And you're a piece of shit if you're not as good as them.
It can be. It depends on the person. But
how big's a squad?
I think it's like 6 people.
So could you build a squad to go do it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whenever they do you'll see when you go, you basically make a PRS account, and for any match that you want to go to, they'll have like an area to sign in for that particular match, and the spots fill up. But you can select like what squad you want to be in if you get early enough. If you get too late, you kind of got to take whatever lane's open. But if you get early and all your friends go at the same time, like you can be squatted up together, and it's super easy to do as long as you're in it well before the match starts.
We can build a DOD shooting team right here, fellas.
There you go. There's actually one that I've shot out here in, is it Gravestone that's close by?
I don't know for sure. I can look it up if you want.
No big deal. There's one around here. I think it's Gravestone. I actually shot there the first match they ever held there. That was a really cool match because there's a lot of different, basically you've got this long row of different shooting areas that look off into different canyons. So you get like a lot of crosswind action, and it was a really challenging match. And even the guys that were pro shooters was like, I've never goose egged a stage, but I did 2 today. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, it's Parker County, but it's in Lipan is where it's at.
Oh, good old Lippin.
Lippin.
So if you want to do any of that,
That's pretty cool.
See,
we might have to check that out.
I think a lot of my fetish of it is egos. Because like the whole point, like I'm going to get an FFL just so I can Cerakote and, actually do it legally. But I just want to sell one firearm through my FFL so I can honestly say I'm an arms dealer.
Yeah, there you go.
Like it's an ego thing. And the thing about long range shooting, I want to learn it so well just so I can hit 1 mile long shot. Mm-hmm. That's it. I don't care about how good it was. I just want to. Everybody I fucking talk to will know I hit a mile long shot.
Like, I don't care how big the target is. I hit the mark.
I can hit a mile.
You put a fucking elephant up there. If I hit it, I hit a mile long shot. You can't tell me nothing. I'm the best shooter in the world.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
No, like that's one thing I've always been interested in, just for the sheer fact of, I don't know, something about long range shooting's always intrigued me. And I think the same thing with revolvers. Why I have such a fetish with those is just. You see some of those guys that can shoot 6 shots in 1 second. like just pop, 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 and hitting their targets. And I'm like, that's so awesome.
It's cool, and like there's so many movies with like long range shooting in general. Like there's a whole vibe behind it that I think everybody kind of gets wrapped up in, and it makes you want to go do it. And it's fun. I mean, you don't shoot as much as you would when you're just like plinking.
Yeah.
Like throughout a match, you'll probably shoot somewhere between 70 and 100 rounds, depending on how fast you are. Because like when you first start, learning the movement patterns is a big deal. So you need to learn how to like game a stage and do it in the correct order, so you meet your time and you can get set up and make all your hits. But the first one you do, almost everybody, like, you'll time out on probably the first 5 stages till you get a general hang of, like, the order you should shoot it in, how you should move, that kind of thing.
Huh. So what all competitions are there to do? Like you said, like there's a lot of them, but you kind of went over the more of like the barricades and stuff like that. Is there any of just like a distance? Is there any like speed? Like what?
There are pretty much anything you want to do, there's a competition for it. For long range stuff, the 2 most popular right now are PRS and NRL Hunter. NRL Hunter, there's a lot of bleed over between the two, but
Will you explain what NRL is?
Yeah, it is more focused on hunting. So you'll have like animal style targets. They don't tell you where the target is. You know what you're looking for, and you have to actually glass the target. You get a range for it. You make your shot off of a field position. So you carry like a tripod or bag or whatever, however you're going to do it.
That would be fun.
That sounds like a
Yeah.
pretty cool one.
That's probably the one you want to do if you want to make it more hunting centric. I haven't done that one yet. One of my buddies actually has started shooting it quite a bit, and he said he likes it a lot better than PRS.
So you walk up, they're like deer, basically. And so you're looking for a deer. You're looking for, say, a whitetail, but you have no idea where the fuck it's at.
Yeah,
So you have to glass, you find it, get your range, dial in, shoot.
exactly.
Is it a timed event, or is that one of those that has a 2-minute timer? You get as much done as you can.
I believe so. I haven't shot that one. I don't know all the intricacies. I know it is timed, and I think they're 2-minute stages, but I could be wrong on that.
So what is I guess going back to PRS, what point system like?
Impacts. So basically,
the time doesn't matter.
The time does matter. You have a chance to get so many impacts per stage within the time. So if you time out, your course is done for that stage. But if you have 2 minutes, you have the full 2 minutes to make as many hits as you can. And some of the stages are set up to where you have to hit a target before you can move on to the next one. So if you waste all your shots trying to get the first 2 targets, like whatever impacts you got or what you got.
Yeah.
And some you move on. So like, let's say you missed your first target, you'd move on to the second one. It just depends on how that match is set for that particular stage.
So let's say top impacts like 20. Throw a number out there. If a guy gets 20 impacts in 45 seconds and a guy gets 20 impacts in a minute and a half, does that come into play at all? Or
on most stages, it doesn't matter. There are some like tiebreaker stages where they will actually take the time into account. And if you made the same hits as the other guy, but you did it like 30 seconds faster, like you get credited for that particular stage.
It's truly, for the most part, a precision. You need to hit more so than you need to finish fast.
For sure.
Might as well take a minute and 59 seconds if it's a 2-minute stage and make sure you get all your shit down.
Yeah, if you miss every shot and you took 10 shots or whatever the stage was, like that doesn't do you any good. Yeah. So what you learn is you want to focus on getting each shot like as a hit.
Yeah.
And just focus on the shot at hand. And like you'll get to the other ones when you get to them.
Yeah.
But if you just burn down 5 rounds trying to hit one target, like you're going to do terrible on the stage.
Do you have a shot limit or?
It depends on the stage. A lot of this is going to be like stage based. Typically, you'll have your magazine's worth of ammo, which I think it's a 12-round capacity limit. I haven't shot this style of competition about a year, so they may have changed some rules, but typically like a 10 to 12-round magazine is what you're going to have on hand. You can do a magazine change depending on the stage, but a lot of this is going to be dependent on what the match director set up for that particular stage.
Okay. So it does kind of change out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that obviously each competition's different, just like any other competition, I suppose.
Exactly.
Depending on who's the director and who's running it's how it's going to be.
Yeah, because all these matches, like Texas and Oklahoma, have a lot of shooters, and the Texas Oklahoma guys are affected by wind a lot more than some other areas around the states. So they'll get really good at reading wind. But when you're looking at each separate match, basically these competitions are held at different ranges, and whoever runs that range, whoever they have running those stages, you'll have very different looks if you go to like a match at Gravestone or a match at White Oak and Mount Pleasant. Like it can be a really varied experience. And even at the same location, a lot of times they just want to switch things up to kind of trick shooters because you can go to the same competitions over and over again, and a lot of times they won't change anything, so you'll get really good at that particular stage.
Yeah.
The guys that are good match directors are going to switch that up on you and make sure you're always being challenged in one way or another.
Huh. But say, I didn't even know there was what did you call it? The hunting one?
Oh, the NRL hunter?
NRL.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was really a thing. Like I've never.
I honestly thought that was a different match setup. Because isn't there the National Rimfire League also?
I think so. There's a rimfire section of PRS too, and that's another thing we should probably bring up is there's different classes within whatever competition you want to run, and that will affect how you're scored in relation to other people. So in PRS, you've got like your open, which is you can shoot whatever you want as long as you're within the caliber, like velocity envelope and bore size envelope. You can do production, which you're limited to a production rifle, so it's got to be something you buy off the shelf from a manufacturer. That's what I shoot. You've got tactical, which is like your 308s, 223, and you got gas gun, which is semi-automatic rifles. So like your AR-10s are what people typically use, but you can use AR-15 as well.
That's pretty cool. So as far as like what is your gun?
Yeah. What's your setup?
I use the Christensen Arms NPR competition in 6GT. I've modified it a little bit. I've added an Arca rail to it so I can add my bipod easily.
Yeah.
You can attach some like bag rider accessories depending on what you want to do. You can have a bag set to your rifle, like towards the rear if you wanted to use that to mount off a barricade, but I'll do that. And I've got a bipod I can take on and off easy. And it is adjustable, so I can move the cheek piece, the length of pull, get the rifle set up for my body.
Yeah.
And the shooting style is different too, because you do a lot of like stand-up shooting. And what you would do differently than like you may have been taught previously, you really want to get the rifle stock square into your chest almost, and it's really almost center line with your body. It's not way off in your shoulder.
Keeps your sight line more.
Boy, that's going to be a problem for me.
In.
So that's the big deal. Is like whenever you're shooting at range, you don't have a spotter for you. You are your own spotter.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to watch your impacts and your bullet trace, not maybe the trace, but the arc through the scope. And if you miss, you have to correct for that because all they tell you is like impact, or they don't say anything.
Yeah.
And if it's like a serious stage, you don't get corrections if you're shooting with your buddies. And it's not like a pro match or something like that. You can have like if you come out with a guy that shot a bit and you're new, like they'll typically help.
Yeah,
you out
they can help you out, but there's a lot of them that's probably just like, nope.
Yeah,
here you go.
It depends on who you're with for sure. But like if you got somebody that's cool, like they'll tell you like, hey, you're missing right like every shot, dude. Like the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
So
Dial
or
your
like
wind
your
in.
elevation's way off. You're hitting way under every target. So that kind of thing. And that's nice. You get out some guys that are helpful because that's the best way to learn is just do it.
Yeah.
And have somebody kind of overwatching you and helping correct your mistakes because you may not know what you're doing wrong, but if somebody can watch you from the outside,
especially if you're like getting into it and you're new, like that could be a big issue where you're just like, I'm just flinging lead at this point.
Exactly. So if you're not able to watch, like the reason I shoot 6GT is it's a super low recoiling cartridge. It's a really small bullet, so the downside of that is the energy downrange isn't as much as like a 6.5 Creedmoor would be.
Yeah.
So it moves the target less, you get less impact, and it's harder to judge an impact when you get beyond like 700 yards.
Gotcha.
So there is downsides to it, but the plus is with how little recoil there is, it's super controlled. So you can get behind your rifle, take your shot, and as long as your rifle's like weighted correctly and your shooting stance is good, you can watch that bullet all the way into the target.
Gotcha. So as far as like the 6GT, I hadn't really done any research or anything on that one, so I'm completely lost on that one.
Mm-hmm.
At what kind of like a relative yardage does it go transonic?
I really don't know.
What does transonic mean?
So that's where it shifts from supersonic into subsonic ranges. So it goes into and whenever it does that, it starts to cause tumbles and like messes with your flight trajectory and stuff like that. So I didn't know. Typically that's the one thing I want to know about a caliber is like what point do you start to?
Yeah.
I actually knew that question, and I was really going to hope you were going to talk about tumbling and stuff like that because that's kind of what I really wanted was it starts really affecting your flight pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's instead of being like, oh, can it kill it 1,500 yards or something like that? Like the transonic range is kind of like, okay, well, here's where you lose any shootability almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your bullet still stable at whatever distance? Because it's exiting the sound barrier or going back to subsonic. There's like a medium zone
Turbulence.
there, and it creates turbulence.
Yeah.
I don't. I should know. I don't. What I'll do.
I bet I can look that
Oh,
one up.
what a loser! He don't know.
I'm super low effort. That's why I don't win any competitions.
I don't blame you a bit. That's me.
That was going to be my next question for you. While he's looking this up, I'm going to go ahead and ask: is it purely a individual base, or is there competition set up for like a team base? Or because I think that would be fun to have like a team base scoring system. Like, what team's the best?
I think in NRL Hunter they do have like a squad, like not a squad necessarily, but like a team section where you could go with a buddy, so they could be like your spotter or whatever, and you could shoot the match. I think that's there. Like I said, NRL Hunter's not really my bag, so I don't know for sure, but I know there is a competition set up like that.
You know what? We'll just set up a DOD shooting team, and me and Landon will go hit the hunting side, and you and whoever can go hit your precision side, and we'll just take over the world.
What I'll typically do, I haven't really noticed any like instability issues at the distances I've shot at. What I'll do is I'll get my velocity for whatever rounds I'm shooting, and then stick that into a calculator and go shoot at distance and see what it's doing.
Okay.
And then what you can do is change your BC number within your ballistics calculator to make it match what you're seeing, and it will true your velocity. And that way you get much better data. And then once you get good data, you move to a different environment, weather pattern, whatever. You can input those variables, and it will update your data. You shoot
that's
a couple
pretty cool.
times, and like you got it down. So it doesn't really matter what it's doing. You just know your elevation holds for whatever ranges you're looking at. And if you get far enough, then it matters.
Yeah, once you start stretching out, it says roughly about 1,200 yards, which
That sounds about right.
that's pretty standard on stuff like that.
Going to figuring out your wind and stuff like that. I know a very base level, but I want you to explain it to me like I know absolutely nothing. I've never shot a gun long range whatsoever. What is the best way to start learning how to read the wind, how to calculate it? What would you think?
I'll tell you when I figure it out.
That's fair.
That's the toughest part, because depending on how far you're shooting, there could be multiple like winds. So it could change on you like throughout the course of the shot, throughout the course of the day. It's not going to be doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
And depending on your cartridge, like some defeat wind better than others. So your ballistic coefficient of your bullet, your BC, is part of that. That's how efficient the bullet flies in like layman's terms. And how long the bullet's in the air. Like if you've got a slower shooting cartridge, the wind has more time to act on that bullet, right?
Yeah.
So depending on what you're doing, you might have one cartridge that's a lot better than another for wind specifically.
Huh. Okay. Well, that sucks.
It's not an easy answer. Really what it is exposure. Like you just have to get out and shoot a lot to learn how the wind affects your specific setup.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Well, so that's one thing you don't really see. Like 90% of the shit in my life, if I want to learn how to do it, I YouTube it. Mm-hmm. I start learning. That's my step one. And then I just go into throw myself in at full bore and waste a lot of money and figure out easier ways to do it.
You're exactly right.
So
like
that's basically what you have to do.
Get the basics. And then if you're lucky, like find a mentor that's already doing it and then have them check yourself out, or go take some classes. Like I took a class, I think it's a range in Oklahoma. I don't remember the name of the class, but I think it's Battlestar Ranch or something like that. BSR Ranch maybe. But they do like PRS. I don't know if it's PRS specific class, but they do long range specific classes, and that guy does quite a bit of PRS stuff too. So if you pay some class fees up front and just get some knowledge, you're going to go way farther than if you just went and wasted a bunch of ammo. You know what I mean? So finding somebody that knows how to help you, BSR, Battle Springs Ranch. Going somewhere that somebody can teach you that, so you're not just like throwing rounds and trying to figure out everything as you go, is going to be super helpful, because they'll look at your form or like how you pull the trigger or whatever you're doing, and they'll diagnose that way faster than you will.
But say I have a buddy that the only other person I've ever asked that question to is a buddy I have that he was a sniper for 8 years in the military. And he started going off and telling me about it. And he was like, oh, man, it's super easy, blah, blah, blah. Just went off on it. And I'm like, I don't understand a word you're fucking saying. He was like, well, I guess it would be easier to show you than it is.
Yeah.
He ain't here. Like, I'm pretty sure right now he's in like Alaska or something.
So, like, you get a teacher that's good. They can, as long as your setup's not like completely ridiculous, they can have you shooting out to 1,000 that afternoon. And you'll be pretty consistent. When you go home, you got to practice all that stuff. And like I said, get exposure to wind to really get a handle on that. But you'll be way farther ahead than you would be otherwise.
So I just need to pay somebody to come babysit me. Got it.
Pretty much.
It's either pay somebody to fucking walk me through it or pay for thousands of rounds that I'm
Yeah.
going to throw
Try
down
to get
range.
it all dialed
Yeah.
in. Yep.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody looks at the rifles and the scopes, and they're like, "Man, that's so expensive." But if you're really shooting, the biggest expense is ammo, like almost always.
What if I gave you, say, $5,000 right now? Build me a top of the line setup
Oh, yeah.
for the first part of the question. I'm just saying, like, for the money, not obviously. 5,000 grand. Told you to build me top of the line setup for the money. What are you building me?
It depends on what you want to do. So any question you ask me is always going to be like, what are you trying to accomplish? Like specifically, what competition are you shooting? What class are you trying to stay in? For $5,000, you're really stuck in production. So I think the price cutoffs for production is you've got like a certain amount that you can spend on your rifle and a certain amount you can spend on your optic. I think it's $2,500 for both right now. But
To start out, production would probably be where you'd say to start out, right?
yeah, because if you're shooting open, like you're probably never going to win for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you're shooting against people that
Yeah, you're shooting
That's
against like
all they
sponsor
wanna
shooters.
do.
They're shooting
They're
through
doing it
fucking
all the time.
Cheerios with fucking not even breaking the Cheerio.
Exactly. So I would probably say start production and then pick your flavor of rifle that has like the accessories you think you may need or can accept them. So like the rifle I have has an M-LOK handguard. M-LOK is an attachment system for firearm rails. So I can attach a lot of different products to that rail depending on what I want to do. And part of that is typically what you'll find when you start doing this is you want the heaviest rifle possible. The rifle I have is kind of light for a competition rifle. I think it starts out at like 11 pounds naked. Most people are shooting like a 15-pound to a 20, 25-pound gun. So you can add weights to specific handguards that make your life a lot easier as far as recoil reduction and tracking the shots, things like that. So I would run an Arca rail that's weighted ideally, so you can tune the weight for whatever you're trying to do. You want to make sure the rifle balances whenever you set it up on the barricade you're going to be shooting it with.
Yeah.
So if it's too front heavy or too rear heavy, it's not going to be easy to just set the rifle up and take your shots. Ideally, you want to be able to set it up on your bag on that barricade and be able to walk away and it stays where it's at.
Okay.
It's weighted properly. But once you do that, it makes tracking your shots super easy. Like you could literally not support the gun, get behind it, pull the trigger, and as long as it's weighted properly, like it should be right on the money. So setting yourself up for success is a big deal there. Getting a rifle that will take those kind of attachments, because not every stock is meant for like competition use. So if you've got if you spent your $2,500 on a really nice traditional hunting rifle, you're gonna have to do a lot to that stock to make it act how you want it to act. If that makes sense.
Can you change furniture and everything, or is that illegal?
Not if you want to stay in production.
Okay.
It's got to be as the rifle shipped from factory. You can add like your scope, obviously, different attachments to the existing gun, but you can't like switch out the stock for like a McMillan or whatever you want to do if it didn't come with it.
Like a precision stock.
Well, that's
You couldn't-
unfortunate.
I mean,
That was my next question. I was like, can I change the barrel? Because like my gun up there,
Well,
I
so
was
that-
like, hey.
That's the main reason why I was asking is
heavy.
if you can buy the gun you need and say, in my head, I was thinking, well, if you can, I'm sure it has to stay under that 2,500, which makes shit hard. 'Cause you get a good precision furniture on it. You're looking at $1,100-$1,200 right there.
Yeah.
Like, if
you
on
were
a lower end.
If you were to build the rifle, you're already, blowing out of production price anyway.
Yeah.
So kind of get one that does what you want it to do from the jump and make sure it's within that price category. You can still use it, but you're going to bump an open class, and then like your scoring is not going to be near as high as it would be otherwise.
Yeah.
The scoring is the same, but you're held to different, not standards per se, but a different group of shooters, right? So if you've got 20, most guys are shooting open. Typically the matches I've shot, there's like 3 to 6 guys shooting production because they're just getting into it. But you want to be scored against those guys so your points accumulate faster. It's like a percentage-based thing based on how you did comparatively, and you'll get a certain amount of points for that goes into the PRS scoring system and adjust your rank.
Okay. So basically, once I get good enough to get to open, I'm going to go ahead and stay. And
Just dominate production.
yeah, I'm going to be
Just
the
hang out with those guys.
greatest production shooter of all time.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
That's where I'm going to make my name. Why don't you move up a class? You can beat half of those guys. Yeah, well, I could beat half of them. I can't beat all of them. Doing this for my ego, fellas, not
My
because I
ego
want to
is
be the
important.
best.
Yeah.
So for production, is your rifle kind of what you would go with? Or is there others out there that you're like, man, that would probably be the setup to have? You just ended up with this one.
I really like that one. It actually shoots phenomenal with the factory barrel. I have done some hand loads for it. I'm super new to hand loading, which is another thing you'll see is like most guys are doing really good, load their own ammo.
Yeah.
Because factory ammo since COVID has been garbage.
Yeah. Well, hell, I mean, half the time if you buy subsonic, you can't rely on it.
Yeah.
I've loaded my own subsonics with 300, and I mean, I'm just doing it in a little hand press and sitting on a coffee table. But as far as,
But say probably sitting right here in this room right here, it's probably had some hand loads on it.
no, as far as just making sure that what is coming out of that gun is subsonic, because like I'll shoot a deer with a subsonic,
Yeah.
but it's going to be the controlled chaos and all of that stuff. So, but I want it right up against that
Threshold.
wall.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to go over, but also like I'm not trying to have it go 700 feet per second instead of
It's got to be in a certain velocity window
1050,
for
yeah.
that bullet to do what it needs to do.
Yep. So I've hand loaded those and it helps.
Yeah. The cool thing about that is like if you're looking at factory ammo, depending on what lot of ammo you have, like the powder, like for instance, that manufacturer wants to use for that load, it may not be available when they make that lot. So they'll use a substitute that still works.
Oh.
They can still make ammo, but it may not be an exact match to what you had before.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that they would change powder depending.
Yeah.
I figure, honestly, I've never thought about it, but it like, oh yeah, unlimited supply of powder, but it makes sense because everybody's had powder issues.
Yeah, well, you mix like COVID in with all the wars that are going on right now. Like a lot of the powders companies want to use, they just cannot source them. So they're not going to stop making ammo because that pisses everybody off, right?
Yeah.
And they got to stay in business. So I don't blame them for it. It's just something you got to be aware of when you're doing more precise stuff.
Yep. No, that makes sense.
See, that's the little things that it blows my mind that you don't know. Like I was sitting here thinking while y'all were talking, I was off in my own little world, and I was like, when it comes to hunting, there's a lot of stuff with ammo I don't really care about.
Yeah.
Like you don't think about, like I'm looking for, grains obviously, but I want like once it makes impact, I want the controlled spread on
the expansion
where it's going to expand to. I want to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then at the same time, we've argued a million times because I'm not a big velocity person. I want a punch. Like I want impact. I want the devastation of it. I think will work better on anything I hunt versus speed.
When you say devastation, do you mean like how the bullet acts when it hits the animal, or do you mean like foot-pounds of energy?
A little bit of both. I really care, I guess, energy-wise, like the actual impact of the animal, but you do at the same time want to care about the expansion of it as well. So I have to say a little bit of both when I talk about that, where it's not just speed. I don't really care more so about the speed and velocity of the projectile going downrange more so than what it does once it punches.
I would lean more to like making sure to have a bullet that expands properly.
Yeah.
Like other than that, I mean, it can go whatever speed. Like I said, everybody online, they'll tell you don't shoot a deer with a subsonic. I shoot a deer damn near every year with a subsonic. It goes about 30 yards.
Well, how big is the bullet you're shooting? Because like
It's a 220 grain.
yeah, like a 220 grain subsonic's a lot different than like a 40 grain.
Yeah. No, it's
22 LR going
But
subsonic.
who's trying to shoot a damn deer with a
That's
223 subsonic?
That's what I'm saying. Like you get
Maybe
these
that's the
people-
deal. Maybe everybody just using the wrong damn.
I don't know.
Just assume it's all the same, right? Well,
Yeah.
subsonic, you can't use that. It's like
I'm
no,
about to say
you
I've
can.
hunted with a lot of hunters that they're like, "Oh, that's not going to be moving fast enough." Like, yeah, it is. Like, it's going to be fine.
Yep.
What matters is the bullet you're using going fast enough to do what it's supposed to do when it hits something.
Mm-hmm.
So you want it to expand. If it's an expanding bullet, you want it to expand. If it's like a more varmint bullet that you want it to blow up when it impacts, it needs to do that at when you hit the animal at the distance you intend to hit it at.
Yeah.
So if you know your bullet does that out to 800 yards, if you're looking at an animal at 900 yards, you're like, I don't know, it's kind of risky. The bullet may not do what it's supposed to do. And the manufacturers are fairly good on that. And they're like, if you look up marketing, like I know Hornady does a lot of this, they'll tell you like what velocity range their bullets are supposed to expand in. And you can kind of use that as a guide to get into that. And obviously some real world testing is needed because you can't really trust everything you see. But verify that in real life. Go shoot some stuff, see what it does.
Yeah.
All right. So there's another question for you since you're here. Bear hunt. 300 Win Mag. Who do you think I should go with for my ammo?
Really, probably what the rifle likes. I like.
That's fair. That's a Landon question. People ask, "What's the best self-defense gun?" Whatever you're used to. That's not what they're fucking
Well, it's
asking,
not even that,
Landon.
like you might find a load that does really good on bear when it hits it right, but your rifle may shoot it like shit.
Yeah.
So, for bigger animals, I haven't hunted on a bunch of bigger animals, but knowing like projectiles and things like that, like a monometal bullet, like a copper, like the Barnes TTSX, those do really well on heavier bodied animals because if you need to punch through like a shoulder, bone, lots of meat, that bullet stays together and doesn't blow up and lose grains as it goes through.
I'm going to need 4 to 6 inches of penetration before vitals.
Yeah.
That's a typical black bear.
So like a bonded bullet or a copper bullet is kind of where you want to be. The Barnes quality that I've seen lately has been really good. So I lean towards the Barnes Vortex line for that kind of stuff. But there's a bunch of other ones that are great too.
Yeah. I ended up going with a Federal polymer tipped bonded bullet.
Mm-hmm.
So for everything I've read, it's going to be a pretty solid punch coming out of that 308. I want to say it's 185 grain, so it's a heftier 308 bullet.
Yeah. They make, like, Barnes in particular makes a pretty wide grain weight range for 308. So I think they do anything from like a 150 to at least a 175 probably.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but somewhere in that range. Really, any of those, take your pick because you're probably not going to be super far away from the bear. Maybe in Colorado you would be.
You could be. Everything I've read's 100 to 200. Typically,
you're good.
Everybody I've talked to said if you're good for 250, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because where we're going to be hunting at is very wooded. Like it's basically the only openings you have are the logging roads.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty much going to be shooting down a logging road if you're going to get a clean shot.
Yeah. That's funny. That makes me think of a story. I went elk hunting with my dad in Idaho, I think 2 years ago now. And we went, it was his tag. So I just went with him to like help haul out the meat and just have a good experience.
Be the back.
Yeah. And so we were helping get his rifle set up for it. He was shooting, I think it was a Bergara in 300 PRC. Because it's like, I might have to shoot far away. Like, we need to make sure this is good. And I was like, okay. So we went to the range, got him used to it. We started hiking around in Idaho. And, like, the only elk we found, literally, we were in the woods. We were kind of bugling with him to kind of triangulate him. And then we got to him. He walked out 15 yards from us at max. So he shot it in the neck, and it crumpled immediately. It probably wouldn't have mattered what he used at that point. So, like, you waste all this energy and time, like, trying to get the exact perfect setup, and then the real-world scenario just humbles you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it worked, but we probably could have spent our time a little bit better.
We've talked about that a couple times. Just everybody that we're going with, it's like, oh, there's no way. You look at half the game, like Colorado games and wildlife, they're like, there's a bear within every square mile. Like, you start looking at the stats, it's like, there's no way you're not going to kill a bear this hunt. But me and Landon's talked about it. There's been millions of times we've went on hunts where I've seen this whitetail at this exact location every day for the last 28 days. He's going to be there at this time. He's going to come from this direction. And then you go hunting for 12 days straight and never see that motherfucker.
Yep. No,
That's how she goes.
That's how I've had hell with that. Like, I'll be, I've got my fair pick of pretty good deer around here, and I can sit there and watch and watch and watch. And eventually, like, I'm either like, okay, let it pass, or I'm like, okay, I want to take it. Well, I had one last year, and I was like, I'm going to take that deer now. And a deer that had showed up forever just vanished into thin air.
It's like they know.
And, oh, yeah, they do. They have a sixth sense for whenever they're like, yep, this area is no longer safe, even though it has been safe for the last 2 months. I'm out of here. And I never shot that deer. He disappeared off of camera Thanksgiving morning.
Somebody
Actually
got him.
See, and that's what gets me too with deer. Like, we talk about turkeys. I can go move my deer feeder during, like right before turkey season. And those turkeys that I see every day won't come back for months. Deer, I can move my deer feeder. They might leave for like a week and then come back. But as soon as it's like, okay, I'm going hunting this day, that's when they disappear. It's like I think they have my house bugged. That's another conspiracy theory I'm going to get into.
He's coming tonight.
The squirrels. I told you my conspiracy on squirrels. I think they're trying to take over the world. So maybe they're just in cahoots with the deer. And they're the real soldier ants out here, and they're doing all or they're the worker ants, and they're doing all the intel. Have y'all seen? Sorry, I'm about to go on a fucking rabbit hole because that's what I do.
That's okay.
Did y'all see the fucking? It's post out of California that their squirrels are going carnivorous.
Oh, yeah.
No.
like killing fucking rabbits and shit.
Are they killing other squirrels or just other rodents?
I don't know.
It's
It
all
didn't
kinds
say,
of stuff.
it didn't
There's
say
like-
whenever I was reading into it, but it looked like they were killing other. It never said if they were killing other squirrels, but they are killing like rabbits and rats and field mice and like anything like they can basically get their mouths on. They're killing and eating.
We got to Google to check this real quick.
Yeah, no. I've seen the video, so I know he's being at least somewhat truthful.
Carnivorous behavior, specifically hunting and consuming voles, a type of rodent.
I've seen it.
Like the first one I saw was a video, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool video." Like, didn't think anything of it, and then I see an actual post out of like the California Parks and Wildlife, and I'm like,
I don't know if
that
you heard
shit's
the
real."
breaking news or
Let's see. I'll pull it up. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the video that I saw on it too, if I'm being honest.
Kind of blows my mind because I've said for the last like 15 years that squirrels are out to get us. I got pissed on one time whenever I was golfing, and I've hated squirrels ever since.
All right, you ready?
Bad day.
We're going to watch it.
not, but squirrels decided to switch teams. They're going carnivorous. I wish I was joking. According to researchers, squirrels in California have been seen chasing animals down, hunting them, and eating them. And their hunting style consists of them decapitating these poor animals. And scientists don't even know why. The thought process is because the population of birds and rodents have grown out of control, and they're eating all the squirrels' food. So the squirrel, in response, decided to turn around and go carnivorous and eat them instead. I didn't know squirrels had that in them. That is the most gangster thing I've ever seen in my life.
Built different. Can we just point out that squirrel was fucking pestering, and trying to antagonize
rattlesnake?
that rattlesnake? He was
That's
throwing
crazy.
fucking grass and shit at it. Like, come on, bitch.
Let's go. That's crazy. And I don't want them running against me. That's for damn sure.
Oh, no doubt.
There's so many of
That's
them.
terrifying.
Like, if they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to take over. They can now.
They're in the trees. They're in the trees.
Can you imagine having your head chewed off by a squirrel?
It'd take forever.
Dude, that would be the most embarrassing
But
death
man,
ever.
ugh,
I would hate for that to be on my gravestone.
killed by squirrel.
Death to squirrel. Singular. If any of my friends die to squirrels, everybody's going to think it's
Squirrel.
one squirrel.
One squirrel.
Death to squirrel.
That's to squirrel or by squirrel. I don't know which one's more proper. I'm asking.
I don't care. Death by squirrel.
Y'all know what he meant.
I mean, I would assume death by squirrel. That just seems like it would be.
Yeah. Oh, I was asking. I
really don't know.
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure the correct grammar.
I'm not a real good person to ask. I have my things I'm really smart at, and that's not one of them. What was it? Double negatives? God, I sucked at those.
Oh yeah, no.
I fucking sucked at those.
Yeah, those weren't good.
Sorry,
Oh,
I
man.
threw us off into a.
Yeah, no. Now you got me thinking on other shit. But
Well, I haven't asked anybody that question yet, and I was like, just talking about squirrels that came up, and I was like, damn, I wonder if they knew anything about this because it blew my fucking mind.
It's the first time I heard of it, but it's crazy.
You should follow the same stuff I follow on
guess so.
Instagram.
probably
My
not.
algorithm is
that
not
sounds
how it
like a
should be.
crazy idea.
Oh boy. We'll have you back on another podcast in 2 months. If I send you the shit I'll look at, you're going to be a completely different person.
Hey.
I'm changed. for
You'll start
life.
seeing the downfall of humanity everywhere.
Oh man. So back to rifles. Do you have any like precision 22s?
Not yet. I'll need to get into that. I've got one of the CZ. They don't make it anymore. It's the
457?
No, it's the 455.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the one before that. And it's got like it's the varmint version, so it's got the bull barrel on it.
Okay.
I chopped it to 16 inches, but it's got like a traditional wood stock on it. I think what I'm going to do is order one of the MDT stocks, drop it in that, and then get an actual Picatinny rail for it in a real scope. I've got like a Hawk, like a mil dot scope, which is cool for what it is.
Yeah.
Because it works. I can shoot like to 100 yards, and I know my hold, if I zero at 50, is 1 mil down exactly.
Oh, that's not
So I'm
bad
like,
at
oh,
all.
that's easy. We'll do that. But for precision stuff, like I got to throw a whole new scope on it, new stock, all that. But I want to do it. My buddy started getting into that recently. I was like, I should probably do that.
Well, if you do that one, you let me know because that's always been my want.
Mm-hmm.
And realistically, with this gun down here, I want to put it into Manners at some point.
Yeah.
It's a Bagara. So
You got the Cadex on it now, right?
yeah, it's got the Cadex. It's a
that's
sick
perfect.
stock.
Like
but
just take it out and
it's
shoot it.
freaking heavy for what it is. I'm like,
So is there actual competitions for 22s too, or
Yeah.
is it the same exact
Yeah.
shit?
It's its own thing. Like PRS has a rimfire classification, but the matches are different. Like it's you don't shoot rimfire the same match you do centerfire, for example. So it'll be target distances laid out exactly for that style of cartridge.
Dude, that would be kind of fun to get into.
It's way cheaper, that's for sure.
You had me at hello.
Yeah.
Landon spends my money more faster than I can earn it. So
oh yeah, that's for sure. No, no, with this one down here, I know I've got it. We've taken it out to 225 yards before, so it'll do the trick. You just got to dial it up. I think we were at 37 inches or 40 inches or something like that
Oh yeah.
at 200 yards.
I haven't done any rimfire stuff past 100 yards, but I really want to.
I used to have that one dialed in so well. Like this has been what, Dusty, 6 years ago?
I don't know. I was about to tell that story
Oh, are you?
of me
Okay.
just
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
over one day, and he was like, "Hey, you want to shoot a 22 and hit a target at whatever 200 and whatever yards it was?"
225 yards.
And I was like, "Sure." How many times? He was like, "Oh, you only need one shot." And I was like, "Okay." And I walked out there, sat literally on the porch, put the gun propped up on the table, and he was like, "Just put it on there and shoot." And sure enough, I fucking, in my head, I was thinking, yeah, okay, bro, one shot. Let's be real. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. We're shooting a 22 at 200 yards now. Like, and sure enough, I fucking pulled the trigger and it, bing.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? He's like, it feels cool, huh? And I sat there and I probably emptied like 5 mags into it, just fucking ping,
Yeah.
ping, ping.
Dude, I would sit there, like, that was what I did for enjoyment. I would sit on the back patio and I had it so dialed in. Like, I could watch anything, a grasshopper fly up on a tree and just pick it off. And so that was what I did for fun. And especially with the suppressor, you're sitting 200 yards away. You pull it, you poke your head up and you look, and then it goes ding.
Well, that's what I was about to say is like you put a suppressor on a 22, like all you hear is the firing pin drop.
Yeah.
So a bolt action 22. So it's like the most fun you can have for the least amount of money.
Yep. Well, in 22, the way it is, and maybe it's changed since
And Landon's weird fetish with 22s.
That is true. It's 22 everything. But as far as like what I used to do and what I know, my information that I know, like with 22, it's better to just use subsonic ammo.
Yeah, because you don't you worry about the transonic way at a lower velocity point than you do with centerfire.
Yeah.
So most of the match ammo you see is going to be under like 1,000 feet per second.
Yeah.
Usually it's somewhere around like 900.
And so that makes that suppressor that much more
Exactly.
quiet. So you just click and then it sends it. So everything that I was shooting was subsonic back then. Back whenever Gym Tech blessed us with their best ammo ever, and now they don't make it.
I bought like a brick of that, and I wish I'd bought so much more.
I went through, what did I buy? I've gone through 15,000 rounds of that myself, and I've got one brick left. And I'm like, I don't want to use it.
Yeah,
It's so sad because it was so perfect.
It shoots great in every gun I've ever seen it shot through.
It was the only subsonic ammo that I found that was literally perfect. Ran through any gun, and it didn't matter what it was. It can be a piece of shit gun that barely worked. I ran it in a Sig Mosquito. Those things didn't run anything. It was worst. Like I couldn't get shit to cycle in that gun, but that I don't know, man. I don't know what it was about that ammo that they did, but it had the magic fairy dust on it, and I can't find shit else that does.
Well, it was accurate too. Like there was nothing wrong with that load. It sounded great, it shot great, it functioned well. I think CCI made that for them. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I know CCI made some stuff for Gym Tech. They might have a load similar to it now, but they don't really advertise it like that,
Yeah.
so it's hard to track it down.
Yeah, I'm sure if I started digging and pulling up CCI ammo, like I would find something. It was so frustrating because like that was it. I had every gun dialed to that ammo. Everything was like set to that ammo, and then they just, I guess COVID.
Yeah.
COVID was what killed it.
SK makes a lot of. I think SK's partnered with Lapua, and they make pretty much all rimfire ammunition for 22 LR. They've got some match loads that are really good. They tend to work well, and they're not crazy expensive.
Yeah. Well, and I really need to pull my box out. I've got a box. So whenever I built this rifle, I was planning on doing some of those rimfire matches, and it just, I don't know. I've always got other things I'd rather do than go spend a weekend at a match for some reason. That's just the way I've always been.
Yep.
But I built the gun, put the scope, dialed the scope, bought all. I think I've got about 15 to 20 different types of match grade ammo, so I could dial figure out which one liked my gun the best, and just never did anything with it. So I've got a box of like really high end long or 22 long rifle ammo with nothing ever done with it.
My buddy and I were talking about that exact same thing the other day. It's like, you don't know what your rifle's going to shoot well, so you order some ammo, but unless you order like a case of it, like by the next lot, it might not like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
How
it's
it
like,
swaps around on you.
I don't want to order a case of ammo if I don't know if the gun likes it at all.
Yeah.
So you lose either way, but you're going to spend money on it. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, ammo's the worst part financially.
Yeah.
Like, if you shoot enough, it trumps whatever price you pay for the gun or optic or whatever.
That's one thing we're learning just doing what we're doing. And we just shoot a lot right now to shoot. And if we start doing YouTube videos and shit, shooting as much as we do already, plus that, like, we are going to have to find a sponsor for ammo.
Oh, no doubt.
Like, we're going to run through so much.
Go broke.
Like, I just, like the 9mm I brought out, I bought 1,000 rounds just because I wanted to buy 1,000 rounds for metal targets. That was lit. That was legit the only reason. If I'm going through 1,000 rounds where I have to buy 1,000 rounds just because of how much we shoot anyway, we're gonna need 3,000 or 4,000 rounds for what we're doing.
It is not cheap, and it goes fast.
Oh yeah.
Especially whenever you start putting it into built up guns and stuff like that that's already shooting the same calibers, and then you're really blowing through because you might have 5 guns out there that shoot the exact same bullet.
Well, that and FRT triggers and all that good shit these days now.
Those are fast triggers for YouTube. Yeah. Fast fingers for YouTube.
Have you played with any of those? The FRT triggers?
I shot one once, like before the ATF thing happened.
Oh yeah.
One of our customers, I went to the range with him, and he brought out like literally, he had, like all the big pistol caliber carbines at the time.
Yeah.
So he had like one of everything.
Oh
He
shit.
had like an MPX. He had one of the B&T GHM9s.
Okay.
He had like some blowback stuff. And he's like, I want you to shoot them all back to back and tell me which one you like best. And I was like, okay. This is fantastic.
All right.
So he had an FRT in one of the guns. I don't remember which one it was. I think it may have been the MPX. But I had a hard time because like the pressure you put in your finger on those, like when it was the force reset ones, like if you pin it back, like it doesn't work.
It
so I
does,
was like, wait a minute. And then you finally figure out the tension. You're like, oh, this is amazing.
So the beginning ones, they were a little harder to run, and I had some difficulty. Like TACCOM made like one of the very first ones, and I bought that one right off the rip, and then got it, basically redesigned it, and like kept all of the internal diagrams just in case anything ever happened. So I had all of the info, but then like I could never get it to run good for me. These new ones are insane.
I think the new ones are easier than the old slide fire stocks.
Yeah.
Oh, I would bet.
Like-
Slide fires were brutal.
Like, if you didn't hold those
I-
perfectly, they did not work.
Well, I never had a problem. So
I'll say you never did.
I never
did.
had a problem with running the slide fire. I could run those things like crazy. But these, I mean, I don't know if it's the way I pull the trigger, but it just, you click it and then it just runs. It is the craziest thing. I don't know how we're still getting away with it, to be honest. Like, I love it. Like, fuck the ATF and all that good shit. But like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with that, though.
want-
Fuck the ATF.
Yeah.
So they make something illegal, or hey, let's make them pay enough money to use this that they don't want to use it anymore. Kind of like suppressors that didn't work. But anyways,
That's what sucks for us is we missed the boat on all the cheap transferables.
Oh yeah. No, that part drives me nuts.
Like you can have it, you just have to pay enough money to get it, then it's okay.
I will say we missed the boat on what used to be cheap transferables.
Yeah.
But like we've had a chance. I just have never found anybody to transfer it to. Like the times that I've had the money to get one done, like something's always happened.
Yeah.
I had one and I paid the guy everything, and for 8.5 months he was like, oh yeah, this lady just has to sign off on this, and I'm like, okay, have her sign off on it. And he was a well-known gunsmith. Like the dude was really good at what he did, but for whatever reason this deal just never got done. And I would think I was in a Mac 911 for like 6,200.
Oh, that's
So
not bad.
like Would have been great. Now they're like 10 grand.
Yeah.
But that deal never got done. And then a couple other deals just
They never get cheaper.
fell through. I'm like, they're just
When
going
you
up.
find one, it's like, just do it
Yeah.
if you can.
Yeah. No,
I
I think that's probably going to be pretty early on the list of like, well, what is it? The Ruger Ranch rifle. What the hell are those things called?
I think it's just are you talking about the Americans or
No, they're the
Scouts?
the Mini 14s.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
that's the
I was
ranch
going the other
rifle.
way. The
So
AR-556.
I want that, but the full auto version.
Yeah.
And I think I put that up on a podcast a month earlier.
Yeah, you want the A-team gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. the
Yeah.
AR-556.
Those things are so sick.
Those aren't priced too bad. I think
They're
when
like,
I look, they're like under 20.
yeah, they're like 14 to 18, depending on what you're getting. That one's like, that's the one I really want. Like the Macs are cool, and you can buy all kinds of shit. You can turn them into a damn AR basically.
All the
these
Lage
days.
parts.
Yeah.
Those are
Which
sweet.
I've got a freaking Lage 22 kit that I bought whenever I bought this thing for $600. Now that kit, you go look on Gunbroker, it's $2,500 just for the kit.
Like I said, it don't get cheaper, and it goes up fast.
Yeah.
That reminds me, though, I think the most interesting NFA transfer I did was for a guy. He was hyping like a cigar company or something.
Oh, that's
super cool dude. But he found this like Colt auto lower, and from a guy, like it was a dealer that was closing up his FFL in New Mexico, and he's like, "I just need to get it here, dude. Can you help me?" And I was like, "Yeah, like we'll do it. Like we'll sign all the forms and get it over." The problem was this guy was like senile, and he had to have been like over 80 years old, like just losing it. And I'm trying to get him to sign all the proper forms to get it brought over, under the NFA.
Yeah.
And going through him to get the paperwork done was just a nightmare.
Just brutal.
Like, I was like, dude, it's all done. I just need you to sign the form. He's like, well, I got to do this and I got to do that. It's like, dude, just sign the form and send it to me.
Get it here.
He finally came through, got it in. This was like a super long process. And the guy it was for was super cool. He actually brought me a couple, cases of cigars and was like, dude, thank you so much.
That's badass.
But it was cool. He got it for a steal. I don't remember how much he paid for it, but I remember he told me, I was like, dang, that is a sweet deal. It's definitely worth going through all the hassle for it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm sure you saw some crazy shit in and out of that shop.
For sure. Because, I mean, like, there are a lot of wealthy people around where we are.
Oh, yeah.
And they could buy whatever they want. You know what I mean? So, not all was NFA. Some of it was just, like, really cool bolt rifles, really, really high-end semi-auto, stuff like that. But there was always something cool coming through.
That's one thing I was about to say was with the amount of money that's in this area. I bet he did see some high end crazy shit just for somebody that does what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Just go out there and shoot for fun.
Yep.
But with that being said, let's go ahead and cut this one off right here.
All right.
I don't know if we'll have a part 2 coming up immediately or if we'll have to get you back out here, but I think a part 2 would be fun.
Either way, we can make it happen.
So with that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.
Appreciate it.